want to see what drills we do for the pistol, the carbine, and the shotgun? We're going to show you what we do every week right now. This is Todd from Sniping Rhino Ranch. In today's video, we're going to talk about some of the dry run drills that we do every week. When we train every week on Monday, we train with our pistols. On Wednesday, we train with the carbines, and on Fridays, we train with the shotgun. Now, we do that every week for 3 weeks, and on the 4th week, we shoot. Now, we don't do all the shooting for all the weapons on the same week. 1 week, we'll fire pistol and do dry runs of everything else. The 2nd week, we'll shoot the carbine, dry runs of everything else. The 3rd week, we'll shoot the shotgun, dry runs of everything else. And on the 4th week, we will shoot rifle. So basically, we're shooting a weapon system every week. Anyway, if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. One of the things you need to know is that we are a homesteading channel, but we're called Sniping Rhino Ranch, so it's about time we did a video of what we do to get ready to shoot. Let's get to it. So the first thing I'm going to go over is our pistol drills. Now I'm going to start like I am now. The reason is so you better understand why we do the techniques that we do. Because let's be honest, God forbid you should ever be in a shootout or something, but if you are, you're probably going to be carrying concealed and not have a tactical belt or something of that nature. So when we do our training, we train so that the steps for concealed, or the draw steps, are the same as for tactical. And so I'm going to just show you what I do. My firearms not loaded, the magazines are empty. That being said, when you go to draw, when you're carrying concealed, the first thing you do is you sweep up your shirt to clear your holster in your firearm. So then when you draw, when you get it horizontal, you put the weapon on fire, you get your grip and you bring it up. It's on fire, ready to shoot, okay? So you'll do your shooting, right? Let's say you run out of ammo, you'll do your magazine change by dropping the mag, putting the other round in. If you need to rack the slide forward, you can hit the release or rack it, but it's right there. So, bottom line, that's how we want to teach them. So when we're done, we'll do our sweeping motion, we'll come back, we'll put it on safe, we'll look behind us, make sure there's no threats anywhere before we go to holster. When we go to holster, we'll sweep back up, exposing our holster, and we'll go back like that. So because that's how we do it concealed, even though the boys aren't concealed carrying yet, I want them to train so that the muscle memory is very similar. So when they get old enough to carry concealed, they don't have to do a lot of training to fine-tune to carry concealed. So let's show you what drills they do every Monday. Okay, now I got my little bat belt on, war belt, whatever you want to call it. So when they go to draw to do their drills, what they'll do is this first step is they'll simulate sweeping up, but they'll bring their hand up, get their hand on the holster and hit the retention button. Then they pull it up. As it gets horizontal, they'll put the weapon on fire, get their grip, and come out. Now, a little bit about safeties. A lot of striker-fired weapons do not have safeties. I prefer it just as a backup in case, God forbid, I'm careless and a kid gets a hold of it, or even in a worst-case scenario, someone gets a hold of my firearm. Most striker-fired weapons don't have safeties. Most pistols don't. And so when someone goes to try to shoot me with my own firearm, it gives me a fraction of a second or a second or two while they figure out why it's not going boom to either get retention of my firearm or go to my backup gun. So anyway, they've come, they've drawn, they put it on fire, and they brought it up. Bang, 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 okay? Now, they're going to do a magazine change. So they come up, they hit their mag, put the new one in, and draw. Bang, bang, bang. They come up, put their new one in, come out, bang, bang, bang. Okay, threats down. They'll do their sweep, looking for other threats. They'll come back, put the weapon on safe, and they'll look behind them, make sure there's no threats behind them, and then they come back up, simulating sweeping, and put that back into the holster, making sure that the only time their finger's on the trigger is when it's out ready to shoot, or if they have to shoot before they get it out. So that's the pistol drills, and they do that every Monday. So every Wednesday we do carbine drills. On the Wednesdays that we're shooting rifles, we won't do carbines, we'll do long range rifle shooting. But we do two different drills, the drills that I practice with and the drills that the boys practice with. And I'm going to show you real quick why they're different. This is our home defense AR. This is not a suppressor. Basically, it deflects the muzzle blast forward so that, God forbid, someone breaks into our house at night. I can grab this. If I have to shoot, everything will be directed towards the target, and it'll help minimize me losing my night vision. It also has a side magazine carrier, so that I don't have to worry about grabbing extra AR magazines. I can just grab this. I have 61 rounds, one in the chamber, and then 2 full 30-round magazines. So when I'm doing my drills, basically what I'm doing is I'm pulling up, bang, 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 right? When I go to do a magazine change, I'll flip over, make sure my chamber is empty. I'm going to go ahead and lock the bolts to the rear. You know, I have a stoppage. I look over, I see my magazine's empty. All I do is I grab this side carrier magazine, I hit the release, put it in, and I'm ready to go. And as I have time, then I grab a magazine and I put it up in the side carrier. That way when I go to do another magazine change, put it up and let it slide forward. Then when I'm done, I scan for threats, put it on safe, and then check behind me. Now the boys, their ARs are not like this. This is, again, just something for home defense, something of that nature. If you're a police officer, you can put this in your trunk. God forbid you're in a shooting situation where you need a rifle, but if you are, you can grab this quickly and you have 61 rounds at your disposal instead of just 31. So let's go over what the boys drill. So I have one of the boys' AR here. Both of their ARs the exact same. They still need to get their offset sights. They look the exact same when they put their offset sights on. One will be 45s off to the left and one will be to the right, because one of my sons shoots left-handed. So before I begin, let me lock the bolt to the rear. It's an empty magazine, so it just locks. Now, for my left-handed shooter, basically he's going to be holding the gun like this. We have ARs that are not designed for lefties, they're for righties. And I don't want him to get used to having one that way, because you never know what AR you're going to pick up. And so for him, when he's like this, if he has to put it on fire, what he'll do is he'll use the meaty part of his hand to flip it to fire. So he's like this, boom, he's ready to go. So he goes to shoot. Now when he goes to do a magazine change, because he's a lefty, so he'll be shooting, boom, boom, boom. He'll rotate his weapon over, see that it's locked to the rear and that he's empty. And he'll take his left hand, hit that magazine button, and just kind of throw it down. Now his mag carrier's on his left side, so he pulls up his new magazine, sticks it in, and then to hit the bolt release, he'll rotate his hand up, hit it, and he's ready to go. Now of course he's not going to be displaying it to where you can see it on the camera, but that's how a lefty does it. Okay, now let's show you the drill for a right-handed shooter. When we start, we're going to start with the magazine and the weapon with the bolt locked to the rear. We're also going to have our magazines in with the straps on it. A lot of competition shooters, all of our stuff have straps that retain everything in there, and we want to do it just like it would be if we were walking around, because this is kind of tactical training that we're doing, not competition training. So one of the boys will be calling out commands and the other one will be going through the drill. So one calling out commands will be, we'll say threat. The one doing the drill will pull up, put it on fire, and simulate engaging a target. Bang, bang, bang. The one calling out commands will say, you're empty. You'll rotate it, check and ensure that you don't have a stoppage, that it's actually out of ammunition. You'll hit the mag release button, grab your other magazine, put it in, hit your bolt release, and continue, bang, bang, bang. Now this is where it gets interesting. We do what's called a freeze, and the one calling commands will say freeze, and the one going through the drill will not move. They'll just stay up like this, and the person calling commands will come up and move that charging handle back, push it forward, locking the bolt to the rear. That way we don't create muscle memory for bad habits or something that they're not going to be doing, God forbid they're ever in a gunfight. So then he says continue. He'll pretend like he's still engaging targets, bang, bang, bang. He'll say out of ammunition. He rotates it, see that the bolt's locked to the rear, it's empty. He'll hit the magazine release, grab his other magazine, put it in, bolt release, and he's back up. The one calling commands will say threats down. He'll scan. He'll go to low ready, putting it on safe. He'll check behind both sides to make sure there's no other threats around him, and that ends the drill. Now they do 3 drills. They'll do one where they've got a magwell grip. They'll do one where they have like a hunter's grip that's about halfway up. And then they'll do one where they have a C-clamp grip, something you would do in competition, or if you ever needed to engage multiple targets quickly and you wanted to really control your muzzle rise. So those are our carbine drills that we do every Wednesday. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is show you what the drills that we do for the shotgun. Now this shotgun is empty. When we go to do the drill, we have it not quite all the way forward. It's forward but not locked. What we'll do is we'll simulate that we've shot the gun dry, which you should never do, but you just clicked one on an empty chamber. So you'll come back and begin your reloading process. Now what we have are shotgun caddies. I'm a right-hand shooter, so all the brass side is to the left. My lefty shoots his with the brass on the right side. Now, again, we're doing tactical shooting, not 3-gun shooting. There's a lot better caddies, if you will, out there if you're going to go for competition, so you can do double or quad loads. We want something that we can run around. It's not going to fall out. There's magnets in here holding it together, and so we do use this style caddy. I'm going to be pointed away from you because we do this drill outside on one of our ranges because we do it with live ammunition. The reason for that is the snap caps we're using are not magnetic, so they don't sit in here as well as real shells. So we use real shells and we just do it on the range. So I'm going to turn 90 degrees so I'm not pointing a loaded weapon at my camera. I don't have to worry about pointing at you because you're not really here, but my camera's not that expensive, but expensive enough that I don't want to risk shooting it. Anyway, so we'll do 3 iterations. We'll do an iteration where we're loading 2 at a time, an iteration we're loading 3 at a time, and an iteration we're loading 4 at a time. And basically what we're doing is the first one we'll be grabbing a single round, topping off the chamber, and then for 2 we'll grab 2 at a time, for 3 at a time, and for 4 at a time. So I'm going to start with 2 rounds. Okay, again, we're going to do 2 rounds here. We're starting with the slide not quite locked forward, so we can simulate that we've just popped one on an empty chamber. So I'm up, I'm bang bang, it went click, come like this. I put the first round in, I grab 2 rounds, and I slide them in. I grab 2 more rounds, I slide them in. I grab that last single round, and I'm ready to go. 6 rounds loaded that quickly. Again, you never, ever, ever want to shoot your gun empty. If you've got something like this here, load while you shoot. So that's the doubles. Now let's try the triples. Okay, I've topped off my caddy with 6 rounds. My weapon is empty. I'm going to start with it forward, and I'm going to try to do 3 rounds at a time. Again, the first round going inside. Because it's 6 rounds, my last 2 will be loaded as a double. So this is what we do. We fired it empty, grab that single, put it in there. We'll grab 3 rounds. 1, 2, 3. We'll grab the remaining 2 rounds. 1, 2, and we're ready to go. That's our 3-round loads. Okay, we're back for our 4-round loads. Again, the gun is empty. I have 6 rounds in my caddy. I will put the gun the bolt cord with it not quite locked. I just clicked on an empty chamber, come back, put that single up there. I'll grab 4 rounds. I go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll grab that last one so I'm topped off and I'm ready to go. Now, a lot of times you're gonna make mistakes. If you drop one, go ahead and just keep going. We mess up a lot because we just started doing this tactical training. My boys have been shooting for years, but they've been shooting for hunting, not for tactical shooting. And so if you make a mistake, just keep going, keep going. One of the common ones you're gonna make, especially if you're not shooting with a competition gun, is what you'll do is you put that first round in there, right? And what you may have happen is we don't have the extended rail here that they have on competition guns. And so you may put it in and not lock it in to where, let's see if I can simulate it. So you end up with a round inside and you can't get another round in there. If that happens, go ahead and eject the round and put one in there and then load the rest, okay? If you need to drop what's in your hand, but you can't get any more ammunition if that happens. So just rack it. If you look, there is a round in there, the one that was stuck, and that will allow me to continue putting in other ammunition. So that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button and leave a comment. If you didn't, leave a comment anyway. We're open to suggestions. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our homestead related videos. This is Todd,
Michael,
and Stefan
saying, threat!